The only way to keep violence away from you is to either be relieved from violence or to be delivered from violence. Deliverance and relief are two different things. Now listen to me carefully. Real deliverance, I'm not talking about false deliverance. Real deliverance will eventually give you relief from violence. But relief in itself is just relief. Look, in the world, people who don't know anything about the spiritual, they have no cover at all. Look, the paranormal only has false security. It's still security, but it's false security. And the false security has short-term benefits. People that at least know about paranormal have that option, but people who don't know anything, they're an easy prey. They are. When it comes to violence, most people just comply in order to avoid people becoming pissed off at them. Well, if you don't have any other option, especially if you're young, you have no other way. And the reason why violent people targeted you, or the reason why violent people go after people who don't know any better, is because they can get away with it. Violent people are cowards. That's what they are. They are cowards. If they are so tough about defending their will at all costs, why don't they go to the shadow government? Why don't they go to the wizards and witches that are afflicting the world? They don't do it. Why don't they face those who harmed them? They don't. They look for easy victims. Now, most people just comply with society, just avoid people getting angry with them. Some people, they begin to look for weaker people to transfer their tensions upon. That's also an option that a lot of people do. And then there are people, I'm talking about the world now, I'm not talking about believers, and then there are people who begin to practice white magic or to go to someone else who can practice some white magic on their behalf so that they are relieved from violence. In movies, there's always a kind of competition when violence happens. And afterwards, the people that are alive just walk further as if nothing happened. That's not how it works in reality. Violence is a real issue that concerns everyone, that people don't want to deal with. But often people don't want to look at the source of the violence, which comes down to that's the way of thinking of worldly people. Now look, worldly people that seek paranormal assistance, I do not endorse paranormal assistance at all. In their case, because they don't know any better or because they don't have any better, in their context, it's the best thing for them to do. Well, the absolute best thing is to become born again and follow Christ. In their case, they don't know any better. They often don't have any people around them who can show them the right way. So getting paranormal assistance in their case is the best thing they can do. Because they're realistic. When they get a charm, that charm hinders bad energy from coming towards them. It does not prevent people from becoming enraged at them. People can still say bad stuff towards them and we get upset, but the bad energy remains at a distance. They are relieved. When you are delivered, this is what happens when you're delivered. When you are delivered, the bad energies that people are meditating towards you will drain them. So the more they will against you, the more they will fight at their own expense. And often you're not even aware they're fighting against you. What you will notice is that often people just look at you in the streets and they just flee when they see you. Why? Because they've witnessed it. They've witnessed that you have superior power. They've witnessed that you have supernatural assistance. And after a while, that they realize that they're in a no-win situation, that they can't even get a relief, they will flee from you. They won't even try to even think bad about you anymore. Of course they do, but the fact that you operate in the supernatural, that you're delivered, is making them quite uncomfortable. Look, there are churches out there who tell you to walk in love, forgive everyone, don't judge, to pray for people. They are in denial. They don't face the violence that's all around us. They put it all away. Or they minimize it. No. There are pagans out there who have a far more realistic attitude when it comes to violence. And those pagans often are not violent themselves. They don't want anything to do with violence. Nevertheless, they acknowledge that violence exists and that people keep it in existence to get self-validation. They see the reality of how twisted and inconsistent worldly people are. And they all see how far things will go if no action is undertaken. And they know that if they would take action physically, by negotiating with people, they are trapped. Because they also understand that some people don't want negotiation. Some people, well, I'm saying many people just want to have their way. They just want to be relieved at all costs. And when they're upset, it's your fault they are upset. And they fight to maintain their negative will against you. Now, pagans out there that are realistic, I'm not talking about those people that light candles, chant weird hymns just to feel relieved. Because you have a lot of pagans like that. I'm talking about the pagans that are realistic. The pagans that are realistic, that don't want anything to do with violence, they take paranormal action in order to be relieved from violence, so that them and their children and the people around them are relieved. And that relief, it works. That's why pagans keep doing it. Now, of course, they are trapped, and Satan is playing a game on them, but they're not aware of that. They are trapped, so I don't support them being in the paranormal. But in their instance, they use realistic understanding. And many churches don't use realistic understanding. Not even that. Look, you need to operate in the supernatural. Because the paranormal will give relief, but there are going to be side effects. And then you'll need to go further in the paranormal to deal with those side effects. So it's a vicious cycle. It does work. Don't get me wrong, but it's a vicious cycle. When you walk by faith, you overcome. And I'm telling you, walk by faith. Too many of you are still, oh dear, let me say this politely. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to say it politely. Too many of you, you act like cowards. I'm not going to say you are a coward, but you act like a coward. I mean, look, when you call yourself a believer, when you claim that you follow Christ, I expect boldness from you. Not recklessness, boldness. That means that in prayer, you deal with paranormal strongholds, you tear them down, and you keep on going to keep growing. Well, that's all for now. I'm going to remind you, walk by faith. That is the true security you will ever have during this lifetime. Be at peace.